Just a few words this morning about this text, about this period in the story, evolving story of Jesus' birth and nurture during these early years of his life. In the Revised Common Lectionary, there are 3-year cycle. Year A, year B, year C. We're just starting the year B, which usually always starts with Advent, being the beginning of the church year. And in the first Sunday after Christmas, which we are celebrating today, in one of those years, Jesus escapes to Egypt. One of those years, year B, Jesus, the baby, is brought to the temple. And there are a variety of, the wise men come, so there are a bunch of these stories that become part of the lectionary, part of the text from which we preach during these few weeks from Christmas Day until we get into Epiphany. I find this story that Bonnie read this morning to be a very tender story. I find it to be tender because I lived this story in 2006, while I was still the pastor at Glade Church. On the first Sunday this particular Sunday, we did a skit of Simeon being in the temple and Mary and Joseph bringing actually a real baby who had been in the Christmas Eve service. And Simeon's line, who was played by a man named Pastor Charlie Peoples. He was a retired Navy UCC chaplain, and he'd been a part of Glade Church for a long time. And so he played the role in the skit. And one of his lines was, "Now that I have blessed you, the baby Jesus, I can die in peace." Well, we finished the service. We went on our way. My way was to meet Charlie Peoples in a couple hours in front of the fire hall to help him deliver some fruit baskets to people in the community. And I saw him sitting in his car, waiting for me, I thought. And I tapped on the window, and he had slumped over and had died. So the real Charlie Peoples, playing the role of Simeon, had said in worship in that skit, "Now that I have blessed you, Jesus, I can die in peace." I'll never forget that. It made that story so real and tender and bittersweet for me. But you know, Charlie was ready. He had a faith beyond the telling associated with his death, his life, his death, and his dying. And I try to remember him because I need some of that confidence and faith that he lived out. I'm also fascinated by the fact that Anna was of great age. Compared to Charlotte, Anna was of great age. Compared to some of the rest of us, we are of great age. And it was important, given the male-oriented culture and society, you know that little girls weren't blessed. Little girls weren't counted for anything, really, except the one little girl who bore God into our lives, Mary. So it was good that Anna was in this story. So for me, it's one of those stories that enriches the process of Jesus' birth, of his being blessed, and eventually, of course, as an adult, being baptized by John. So let this tender moment of Jesus, the baby, being blessed in the temple, stay with you as a way that Jesus started his great journey with God. May it be so for you and for me. Amen.